At the bottom right of the map, we have the StarTale player. It is a former runner-up in the GSL finals. He was up against MVP. His idea is...
StarTale.
Shiggy.
His opponent, the Zerg player in the blue, representing Samsung today. He is...
Samsung Kang Ro8.
I always want to make row your boat jokes when I hear his idea.
You want to do what?
Make you know the song row your boat gently down the stream.
Yeah.
I just want to. I don't know. I ruined it now because if I had a joke opportunity, I can't use it anymore. But
row, you're drawing gently down the joke.
Or I don't know. I was thinking of more so row your roaches. But I don't know. Too much. Too many rows. I'll see if Ro8 finds himself on death row here. He's going to go for pool first.
Yeah, exactly. Starting with the standard build here on 14 and, well, with the pool on 14 and then transition into expansion, of course. This time we have Squirtle with the probe in his opponent's main base. Something that Parting skipped a little bit when he was up against Curious, but as we mentioned earlier, of course, in the StarTale versus StarTale match, a lot of mind games going on. And by the way, guys, if you want to follow one of those StarTale players, they actually made it really, really easy. So all the Twitters of the StarTale team are actually just at StarTale, then an underscore, and the player's ID. So if you want to add Squirtle, it would be at StarTale_Squirtle. And Ro8 also has a Twitter.
It's a bit weird.
Yes.
It's SKWANGS7. So you can follow him there as well.
Yeah, you can follow the two of us, of course, as well, which is either at ProxyWolf or at Calder. Also,
listen, if you follow one of us, you better follow the other one. Otherwise, that's kind of weird.
That would be bad manner, exactly.
That would be a little bit awkward. Like, I'm just gonna like check my new followers and check colors, and if there's one that follows one of the other, I'd be like, that's awkward. I'm gonna call him out on air. I'm like, well, why didn't you follow Calder? That's weird. It's weird, man. This probe is patrolling the watchtower.
It's just because of my hairstyle.
Well, it is handsome, but...
shiny.
You know, it's because I need a haircut and I haven't been able to secure one. Listen, guys, I really am trying. I did try to go.
I'm still voting for blue.
Oh, look at this block. Well, no.
Nah, not really happening. Yeah, for a second it really looked like he could be super annoying with the probe. But it's not gonna happen.
The most important thing is that he sees the hatchery, which is what he was going for in the first place.
You want to know what's going on. If there's on Ohana only a two-base play, you always know that there's some kind of shenanigans going on. Of course, there could be a play with Fast and Festus into a third, which gives you a little bit more map dominance in the middle of the game. But on the other hand, if there are only two bases, there's always the possibility of the Zerg player trying to get a very aggressive Mutalisk play going on.
Yes. I'm still baffled by the fact that our earlier matches have been so fast today.
I actually did not expect this. And you go through the players' names that we've had so far. Well, it's actually a bit crazy. But right now, as mentioned, we have once again the match between GSL and Casper. And to be honest with you, this is the most exciting thing in the past few weeks. Just this, the Brood War players finally transitioning, and this is the first tournament in StarCraft 2 where they actually face GSL players on a daily basis. And at first, they looked a little bit shaky. Most of them lost and found themselves after a 0-2 loss in the losers bracket. But then they suddenly stepped up their game like crazy. You could really see this training regime kicking in, and they played so well. I mean, talking about Jaedong, who we are going to see later on against Genius, for example, it was really impressive.
Yeah, they just do not stop practicing. It's actually insane. Stalker pressure here. Stalker is having the same movement speed as Zerglings off creep when there's no Zergling speed, so he can kind of push those away. Robo is the tech of choice for Squirtle, and the position of choice is an odd one. It's going to make it so that Ismorals have to walk a little bit further to the natural. Normally you see it either at the top of the ramp or at the natural itself. This is one position that's a little bit more hidden. It's a lot harder for Ro8 to scout, but is actually going to affect the timings of Squirtle just ever so slightly.
And for right now, for Ro8, we have only speed coming. And what he has to do, of course, is once again, it's important in this matchup that you spread your creep a little bit. And I talked to so many Protoss players, and a lot of them don't really understand why Zerg is not spreading creep a lot more aggressive in this matchup. Of course, it's a little bit easier for a Protoss player to pick off the tumors when you compare it to the matchup against Terran, because Terran really has to use a scan if they don't want to rely on a Raven, which most Terran players try to avoid. But on the other hand, it's just such an important tool in a Zerg player's arsenal. It's so underestimated how important creep spread is. It was actually so funny when StarCraft 2 just developed to see how many players would skip on creep spread and then slowly realize that is one of the most important things that you have to pull off.
I want to mention two things. I think one is that we're going to see a sentry drop, most likely with the speed of this Warp Prism, and also that we have 6 gases for Roar. He's taken every single gas at all of his bases very quickly here. And this Warp Prism actually, with 2 sentries and a Stalker, he's got the 4 gateways powered up with +1. Looks like he wants to just hit a pretty specific attack at the 3rd base, warping in a few Zealots most likely, using the sentries as support.
And it's not going to be scouted. He doesn't really know that there's a Warp Prism coming his way, and now he warps in units. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, just puts it in phase mode for a second, using it like a pylon, now moving forward, continuing to produce Immortals back at home during this, and Ro8 is going to be a little bit hard-pressed to deal with this. He's only making a few Lings right now, and he's got +1 on these Zealots. Spire is on the way.
Really well executed so far there. Not a lot of Spine Crawlers.
Oh, sick trap
is giving on the Spine Crawlers here, and this could prove to be fatal.
And with no Roaches, man, how is he going to deal with +1 Lings with those, or +1 Zealots with those Lings alone? He just can't.
He can't really. Squirtle is going for a massive attack here, and at least the 3rd base is going to die. I don't see any chance for Ronald's holding this, not without Roaches and a lot of Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, and he's just, he's going to lose a few of these Zealots here. Actually, a bit of a misstep on that micro. Yes, but he's got more warp-ins.
Squirtle needs another warp-in indeed.
Yeah,
that's not enough. He needs another warp-in.
Good micro on the sentries. He's known for his Warp Prism micro.
Really well done, and this 3rd is doomed.
Yeah, I mean, even leaving it alive as long as he did, he just killed so many units for free as they spawned. Look at that micro on the Stalker and the sentries as well. I
love the transition for Squirtle, who already started to build his Twilight Council, because he knows that there is most likely some kind of Mutalisk play going on. He sees there are no Roaches. Exactly. Yeah. No Roaches, nothing to spend gas. So at this point, he's looking at a good economy, but he needs something to deal with those Mutalisks, because they are still going to be built, as you can see.
11 of them, in fact. They're going to be really useful at holding off this next step of aggression. He's going to be able to trade well against the Lings. He needs Warp and Stalkers, and he does.
Exactly. This is what he needs to do here. The Stalker is so important against the Mutalisk right now, and if he has a couple of Chrono Boosts in his main base, he can make sure that the gateways are ready for a second round of warp-ins.
He's going to need more than this, as 11 Mutas will actually fight this. And he's trying to target a few of them pop out alone, and now actually Squirrel may have enough to just fight this straight up.
He had attacked the hatch for quite a while. This was a chance for Ro8 to do some damage, but he's already too late. The Mutalisk count at this point is 9, the Stalkers are 7, and there is no Warp Prism left, so he can't warp in. But Blink is going to be, no, it's not going to be ready in time, not by a long shot.
He's targeting some of the Mutas, but mis-targeting a little bit. He doesn't get the one weakened Muta, there it goes, but he's done enough damage here to now he can just fall back. Ro8 is in a lot of trouble. I don't know what these Immortals were thinking. I guess he's really going to try to get the hatch.
Take down the hatch. He should have focused it a little bit earlier, but those Immortals are doing too much damage to the hatch. Nice. Nice. Squirtle.
I can't believe he tried to do that. What a risky move, but it pays off.
He could have targeted it down a lot faster with those Stalkers, but he decided to do the trade with the Mutalisks. And now we only have 7 Mutalisks on the map, 8 Stalkers. Blink, guys, Blink is nearly done.
And he's got +2 on the way. He's got extra cannons going up. All he has to do is hold here because he knows the Zerg's production is so limited right now. Blink is not done yet, so he's not going to be able to use Blink to chase. GG!
Squirtle here with an in-your-face move, a very well executed attack hitting the 3rd, and Ro8 cutting not only one corner but basically